Chris will be a couple of minutes, so I'm going to start off and give a bit of a view and a breakdown of the game tonight. I think in some incredibly difficult conditions, both sides were able to keep themselves together and actually perform to a very decent level. Absolutely delighted that we went in at the break, the proper break, a goal to the good, a very strange situation that I don't think we've seen before with Joe. Misplaced pass, and it's a gift of a goal. We see it around the world. It never looks good when you're trying to be constructive and somebody makes a mistake inside the penalty area. But 2 minutes after we'd scored and after such a long break, it was a bit of a kick in the teeth. So to go in a goal up was terrific. I thought we'd done enough. The second period, there were some moments our way. I thought we were able to create some reasonable moments, plenty of excitement, clear-cut opportunities, not too many. And in the end, they found a route to getting a point out of it. They'll feel as though their possession and some of the quality on the ball deserved it, I'm sure. And we're pretty disappointed that it was so late in the game. But after all of the events of tonight and how long it took to get the game completed, the overriding feeling will, of course, be disappointment. But I'm glad that we were able to complete this and stay unbeaten.
We saw a little bit of a different look with the three in midfield. What went into that? It was a pretty open game. How do you feel like it played into that?
Yeah, I felt as though look, first and foremost, Annabelle was coming back into the group. I felt as though his experience over maybe a little bit more of an attacking look. There were other bodies, obviously, that could have played. Part of my mindset was, making sure that central area of the field was ultra competitive. Could we, repossess, break up their play and be a tad more, destructive, if you like, through that middle area of the field where they have so much joy and they've got so much quality. It's strange enough, it didn't actually work out that way. There was, like you said, there was quite a free-flowing element to it. But some really good displays in there. Plenty of energy, lots of decent quality on the ball from both sides, I felt. Maybe based on stats alone, the point was a fair result for both, maybe.
Gary, in a game like this, which at some point the victory seems like it was there. However, it was always far away also because of the way Atlanta plays. I mean, every team was always in trouble with it, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, who was the key point for you to say, well, we could have managed a little better the time at the very end to still get the victory?
Yeah, honestly, if you look at the schedule that we've been involved in, and the efforts of the guys during the midweek against Montreal, Atlanta didn't have a game. There's the ability. Just listen, you're talking about fine lines here. Those guys had all week to prepare. The front guys put a tremendous effort into the game, and were instrumental in the way that we took the lead, CJ and Hanny. But they put a lot into this, and Wednesday, and the weeks and the games and the scheduling has an impact. And I just thought in the last 10 minutes or so we looked a little bit ragged. The quality just deserted us a little bit at important times. We squandered the ball when really we should have maintained it, and that started to build a little bit of pressure. And in those moments, not only do they have lots of quality that can take advantage, but they take more chances. They went to a back three. Lennon and I think it was Hernandez on the other side ended up playing like wingers. And we've got to have the ability and the quality to work out of there. We have it. We had fresh legs. we were unable to navigate that. And in the end, you know, he steals a march on Daniel at the back post, and the rest is history, of course.
Drake, después de Tennessee, inclusion de Anderson.
Yeah, Gary, the last time you guys went up against Atlanta, obviously different circumstance, different competition, but to your point that you made that week, same matchup, same rivalry. But you talked about how there really hasn't been from your side the constant pressure on a side to ask questions, as you like to say. How did you think from when you take a look at that bar, that standard? How do you take a look at how your team did tonight?
I thought there were moments in the game that we actually were able to ask some questions of the Atlanta group. The 2 goals, obviously, are an indication of that. You know, to maintain pressure, you know, to really work teams over, choices, you know, the finer quality in tight areas, management of the ball have got to be at a very high level. I thought there were some good moments. Were there enough? No, I would agree. But there's a lot of reasons, as I've said, that could have been the case today. If you look back across the majority of the games that we've had here, you know, there have been some really exciting moments, and we've certainly give just as good as we got, if not more. The way that Atlanta plays makes it very, very difficult to constantly keep them under pressure because of the quality that they have. Their counter-attacking speed, pace, and sheer invention is very, very good as anyone in this league. I think we can say over the course of the 2 games in 10 days that we've played them, as far as competitive games go, we've been toe-to-toe with this group, who, by the way, you know, when you look at what they spend, the way that they go about their business in Atlanta, you know, I can safely say that our group have punched above their weight again, but still are disappointed that we couldn't hold out, because at that point in the game, you know, I felt as though we'd done enough to see off most of the danger. Wasn't to be.
Gary, this is a team that obviously has been a rivalry for you guys all 3 years of being in the league. Knowing that you only have the one regular season matchup against them, and kind of seeing how the game played out, where it ended up getting pretty chippy towards the middle of the second half, basically through the end there. How does this kind of like add to the lore of the rivalry that you guys have against it?
Yeah, I think the results, the way the game unfolds, the fact that, you know, we came from behind 10 days ago and won it in extra time, will not have sat very well in their lap, I'm sure. Tonight they've come from behind twice, so they've shown some character too. No doubt in my mind that, you know, there was a little bit more impetus in their group to get something out of the game, given the nature of our relationship. I think that's just, you know, part and parcel of any game. You know, guys fighting to put themselves either back in a good spot or to hold on to a lead. And I think you'll see that more and more amongst these 2 groups. I think there's some, as I said at the start, there's some real positives to come out of this. You know, we've maintained our unbeaten record at home here. Yes, it would have been great to have grabbed all 3. Feel very much crestfallen at the moment that we didn't, but I'm very, very proud of the way the lads conducted themselves on a tremendously difficult night. You know, it's tough. People keep coming in. Yep, we're going out in 15 minutes. Yep, no, you're not. You're staying in here for another 30. Yep, you're coming out in 10. No, you're not. You're not out till 9:30. And no, yes, you are. Okay, you've only got 10 minutes to warm up. Oh, you've only got 10 minutes half time. You know, there's so many different things going on. And for professional athletes, both sides, you know, to come back out, to you know, put themselves in the position they did, to compete the way that they did, both teams, I think is testimony to two very professional groups.
One more question from Drake Hills, and then we'll call it a night. Thank you.
Yeah, Gary, back to the Wednesday, Saturday. Last week was a conundrum in itself. What did you take away that perhaps you might want to do differently this time around? Maybe your approach, not just tactically, but perhaps were there any lessons learned with bodies or with the way you're going about mentally approaching, given that you're actually going on the road this time?
Yeah. Look, I think I made it abundantly clear with the team and the way we went about our business in the Cup that we're taking it seriously. This is a rivalry again against a local team that we've got a tremendous amount of history, not necessarily recently, but a lot of history. And, both teams will be fighting tooth and nail to be in the next round of the Cup. So I've got to make sure that the team that goes out on the field to begin that game is capable of winning that. I want to go through. I want to be in the hat next round, see who we're playing, and it's a great opportunity for the club and for the players, to go as far as deep as we can in this competition. To your point, it's a very quick turnaround again. The 2-day turnarounds, Wednesday, Saturday are tough. We get an extra day. I know it doesn't sound a lot, but when the guys get an extra day, Saturday to Wednesday, it's a window that their bodies get just a tad longer to recover. So it's not so bad. They're capable of that. It's Colorado and, the competition that we'll face there. They're a good side. It's an interconference game. We want to, continue a decent form in the Western Conference and obviously keep adding points to the board towards what we all hope is going to be another postseason. But it's not going to be easy. And, with a couple of injuries, Eric came out with a knee problem from the challenge. We'll get a little bit more of an in-depth analysis tomorrow, maybe by, Monday. But we've not got a huge amount of bodies to turn over here, certainly in certain areas. So, the next two games, I've got to do my utmost to get the right bodies on the field. And then we get a break. We get a chance to regroup. And it'd be very, very nice to finish these last two games off in a tough run. Hasn't been helped by the way that the weather has chucked it down on us tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Taking the time. That will conclude